Records were made to be broken. At least that's what some people say. Then again, there are others who say that when it comes to professional wrestling, records actually don't matter at all. But then in contrast to both of those views, there are others still who actually say not only do professional wrestling records matter, but they are worth preserving. Now, is that necessarily true? Well, it is the topic of this episode, because today, Dave knows why pro wrestling records matter. Now, before I get into why professional wrestling records matter, we need to address the other 2 points of view. First, detractors will tell you that professional wrestling records don't matter because, well, wrestling's fake. An accomplishment can't have much merit if you were scripted to do it in the first place. And that's true, but it's not exactly the right way to look at things. No one's saying to look at professional wrestling records like you would for records of real sports. That's not what we're saying at all. That would be like comparing Al Bundy's poke high touchdown record to, I don't know, some other NFL football touchdown record. I don't really know anything about football.
Ow! 4 touchdowns in a single game, Bundy!
Your name is on the scoreboard!
Okay, on the field!
I mean, the thing is, we don't watch professional wrestling in the same way that we watch other sports, so why would we compare the records in the same way that we do for other sports? It just wouldn't make any sense. But just because a record is fictional, that doesn't mean it still doesn't have some value of its own. Take, for example, the Millennium Falcon. It made the Kessel Run in under 12 parsecs.
You've never heard of the Millennium Falcon?
Should I have?
It's a ship that made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs.
Now, if you're a big Star Wars fan, that little factoid stands out in your memory. Even though the Millennium Falcon isn't a real ship, the Kessel Run isn't a real thing, and a parsec isn't the correct unit of measure you would use to measure such a thing, even if it was. And furthermore, this record wasn't given to Darth Vader, it wasn't given to Luke, and it wasn't given to Boba Fett. It was given to Han Solo. And when Han Solo brings this up in the movie, it tells us a few things about Han. It lets us know that he's a good pilot, it lets us know that he has a good ship, and it lets us know that he is a little bit of a braggart. So even though the record isn't real, it has value in terms of storytelling. And in professional wrestling, records should be used in exactly the same way. So if you're gonna break a professional wrestling record, especially an important one, well, then it should have a major storyline value in it. And if it doesn't, and you break it anyway, well, that's just really stupid. Now moving on, what makes a professional wrestling record important, and how do you decide who to assign it to? Because what's great about professional wrestling records is that, well, wrestling is fake, and therefore you get to decide who gets to be your record holder. I mean, even beyond wins and championships, records are even bigger because they are so rare. You can only give them out to a select few. Take Tom Brady, for example. I know a lot of football fans out there really don't care for Tom Brady, but if he's going to set a football record, there's really nothing anyone can do about it because it's not like it's orchestrated that he would break this record. However, when it comes to professional wrestling, that's the case. And if fans aren't vocal enough about it, well, maybe management will rethink their plans and actually realize that maybe they need to pull back because it's not the best idea. Take, for example, Ric Flair. Many would consider him to be one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, if not the greatest. So when he set the 16-time World Heavyweight Championship record, it seemed to be a fitting honor to bestow upon someone that many would say is the greatest wrestling legend ever. But then when John Cena went on to tie the record in a very anticlimactic way, only to lose it by the next pay-per-view, well, it didn't seem very fitting at all, now did it? And not only did it not have a storyline value, but it didn't have a monetary one either. It's not like you're attracting and creating new wrestling fans just because John Cena has the record. All you do is run the risk of alienating current fans who might be upset at the fact that you're just simply throwing away tradition. But on the reverse end of the spectrum, take the New Day for example. They were one of the most over tag teams there ever were. And Demolition, well, their legacy hasn't really stood the test of time. So the New Day most certainly deserved to break the record, and to do so in grand faction, which they most certainly did. So ultimately speaking, do professional wrestling records matter? Absolutely. Are they worth preserving? Definitely. But is it okay to break them every once in a while if a storyline demands it? Yes. So the next time professional wrestling goes messing with a record, I want you to think to yourself, who currently has the record and who's trying to dethrone them? And not only that, but is this a story that deserves telling? Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you liked this video, and if you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Go ahead and let me know what you think in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching. Dave knows.